Hello there, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Now, I wanted to talk about growing up with an autism diagnosis in the UK, but I don't think the kitchen is necessarily the right place to get this conversation started.
Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2.
Now, this is better, it's nicely lit and stuff, but still doesn't feel right. I love her rage. Her rage is so good. I'll leave a link down below because it is quality.
Up a tree, clinging to a cloud. Up a tree, clinging to a cloud. Up a tree, clinging to a cloud.
It's very wet here, so I don't think this is the right location either.
Up a tree, clinging to a cloud.
I think I found the right location now, guys. So that whole beginning video was really epic, wasn't it? But it doesn't give any context to what this is and who I am. So I guess if you didn't know, my name is Andy and I was diagnosed with autism in the 90s, aged 5. And I was born in the Newcastle upon Tyne area in 1992. The 90s in Newcastle generally were a very different time compared to what it is today. And from my own experience being autistic, it wasn't the best of times. Of course there were autistic people and people talking about autism, but it was never in the best of lights from what I remember. For me, when I was growing up, I always felt like I was being scored. At some points, it almost felt like people had a massive checklist of all of the things that Andy needs to do to be normal, you know, and less autistic or appear a little bit more sociably acceptable. And a lot of the time, it felt like that checklist was full of X's, in all honesty. But the reason I felt that way was because of a conversation I had with my mum aged 10. By the age of 10, I started to realise that I was different from my peers. I started to realise that I was in different classes. So I asked my mum, why am I different? Like, I don't get it. Why do I feel different? Like, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? And basically, after a long discussion, my mum basically gave me a word for how I was feeling. Autism. And now that I had a word to describe how different and how alien I was compared to the rest of the people that I was with, I guess what I'm trying to say is I couldn't accept myself for who I was, even though I had a word to fully explain it. I guess the fact that I couldn't understand social cues, understand people's intentions, and the fact that my differences, I became a lot more aware of them, and the reasoning for being teased and bullied became a lot more clear. I wasn't proud of my differences. I wanted them gone. I wanted them to go away and never come back. As a kid growing up, I just wasn't proud of my autism diagnosis. Through growing up, going into adulthood, you know, meeting more like-minded people and just experiencing the autism world generally, you know, I just started to accept my diagnosis. I started to accept myself, which is the most important thing. Despite the challenges that an autism diagnosis has brought to me personally, it's not a negative thing, you know, there are plenty of positives. But honestly, I've just come to terms with the fact that I'm autistic, and being autistic is just a part of me. And that's something to be celebrated, I think, not to be frowned upon, not to be feared. But to be honest, it hasn't been easy. I'm not saying to you that it's going to be easy or has been easy. You know, I don't know your life experience. But I think it's just important to accept yourself for who you are, you know, because you're amazing. And that's what you should focus on, not the negative sides. All I can really say, growing up, I was lucky. I was incredibly lucky. And incredibly fortunate to have the people, have the facilities, have the support put in place for me when I was younger. But the thing is, there is stigma that comes with it, you know, whether it's through school, whether it's through peers, whether it's, you know, people misunderstanding. You know I was a kid in the 90s growing up with autism. It was completely different, but some of those stigmas are still there, and that's what I want to try and stamp out. But it's made me the person that I am today. All of those experiences that I've had, both positive and negative. But whether you were diagnosed early, late, in adulthood, childhood, or, you know, you're self-diagnosed, or you're still on your autism diagnosis journey, just remember that you matter. It's just everything about you that makes you you matters. And it's important to share those experiences, you know, because it can help other people. But if you did enjoy this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more autism related videos, click the subscribe button down below. And for now, stay you, stay indie. I hope you have a good day and hope to see you next time.